All right, happy Friday, July the 9th. Mark Milam here, your mortgage professional with Highland Mortgage, coming to you with this week's interest rate summary. Good week for interest rates. We saw interest rates pick up a little bit of ground here. Our mortgage-backed securities pick up a little bit of ground, which drove interest rates further. And really, that's not the trajectory we thought we would be headed in as we got into the second half of 2021. We kind of thought there'd be this slow rise in mortgage interest rates, but we're seeing the opposite. We're seeing interest rates decline in lockstep with the 10-year Treasury. Why is that happening? Well, some of the recovery we knew was ephemeral, right? We knew it was built up, pent up demand, built up savings from 2020 when no one could travel, no one could go to sporting events or concerts or out to eat or whatever it is they wanted to do. So lots of extra savings, money that people were ready to spend. We also had supply chain issues. These supply chain issues that drove up the price of lumber, that drove up the price of a lot of items, and folks still spending money on those. And all of that created this inflation bubble and this consumer economic activity bubble that we've been living through really since early spring. But now that we're getting into late summer, we're starting to see the downside effects of that bubble. The vaccination rate is slowing. We're starting to see folks maybe getting a little bit of buyer fatigue, and we're really seeing this in the real estate industry, especially here in Metro Atlanta. It's been such a heavy seller's market, and we're starting to see buyers get a little bit fatigued about putting themselves in a negative position, waiving contingencies, giving leaseback options to sellers for next to nothing. We're just seeing more and more buyers sit on the sidelines, and that's really started to mitigate the bidding wars that were such a part of every transaction for the past maybe 90 to 120 to 150 days. That'll be interesting to watch. Also of concern, of course, is the Delta variant. We're just getting the news here in the past couple of days that Tokyo is going to ban spectators from the Olympics due to the COVID-19 concerns. This Delta variant, which is a highly contagious variant of the coronavirus, now causing concerns overseas. So we're going to have a spectator-free Olympics this year. I know we're glad to have the Olympics, but really a different message than we were getting 2 weeks ago, as recently as 2 weeks ago, that there would be spectators at the games, and now there will not be. So that Delta variant, a concern. And if we go over to and take a quick look here at the mortgage rates, we know they're continuing to fall this past year. And some of this is over concerns on the strength of the recovery from the pandemic recession. So it turns out that the Fed was kind of very forward thinking in not raising the Fed funds rate when everyone was calling for the Fed to do just that due to inflation concerns. The Fed understanding, hey, this is ephemeral, this is temporary, let's wait until the fall. And really that's been the Fed's message, is we don't know exactly where we are until we get past this temporary bubble, this consumer economic activity that's built up from pent up demand, that's also built up from supply chain issues. Let's get through that. Let's get to the other side. Let's get to this fall, and then let's start to gauge where we really are in terms of this recovery. So in the meantime, we are the beneficiaries of really low rates we haven't really seen except for early May and then early March. So we're back to those levels that we saw in early May and early March. It's great territory to be in. If I can be of any service to you, please don't hesitate to reach out, mark.milam@highlandmtg.com. For every closing at Highland Mortgage in the months of July and August, we will give a free 1-month membership to Highland Yoga here in Metro Atlanta. Fantastic value, incredible teachers. I know you're going to have a wonderful experience there. Have a great weekend, everybody.